uh, Stephen A. Smith, Ed Lover, and other DJs and other people. They have come out and said and talked about Jada so poorly. And let me be honest. Let me be frank. I'm not a fan of Jada's at all. But the fact that they're blaming her for Will's downfall or spiral or whatever, I find that very distasteful to say the least. Personally, I'm gonna say this. I think Will is showing a lot of punk, a lot of weakness right now. Because I would, if I were male, I would say, you know what? How dare she just gonna put it all out there on me? And you just keep defending her. I mean, she keeps berating you, knocking you down, time and time again. And would you come out and say, "Oh, I just think I should have hugged her more"? What the hell? What the hell is that? What is that?
I honor her.
Oh, I honor her. He said he needs to give her more hugs too. So, Chris and Dr. Fight, what are your thoughts on Stephen A. Smith saying that that she's dragging another black man through the mud, dragging him down? Why is she doing this? What do you guys think about that? And I don't know why you all are defend why people are dragging her and not dragging Will. I don't want
Dr. Fight, you want to go first? I'll go after you.
No, go ahead. You are a guest.
Okay, well, thank you.
Yeah.
From the way I look at it, there's a lot of layers like any relationship. It takes two to make up and two to break up. As we know, we find out that they haven't been together, what, in 6 years?
7.
They've been trying to, okay, 7, my bad. Add on 1, it's still don't make no difference.
Okay, I
it's
want
7.
To
Okay, got it. 7 years. You have 7 years protecting the so-called brand of each other.
Mm-hmm.
The whole slap thing takes a whole different situation that he slapped Chris Rock.
Mm-hmm.
But if you went together there to the Oscars and you weren't a couple, then why did that whole thing take place? To me, because go ahead. No, let me finish.
Okay.
The thing about it is the way she comes off in the public, in the media, is always coming after him. And he's the one that's doing wrong. And he's the one. And what I don't like about what she said, going back to the whole red table thing, you want to call it, she has him on there and she tries to justify the entanglement she had with August. You can't justify that. If you want to look, the thing you want to do in your own personal business, that's fine. But see, people like her get on my nerves. She's no different than Bill Cosby years prior on ABC's 2020. He stepped out on Camille and he was being interviewed. He said we had a rendezvous. No, it's not a rendezvous. Don't sweeten it up. You stepped out and had a booty call, and the same thing with what Jada did with August. And then there's somebody who's the same age as your son. So again, when you have that type of embarrassment to Will is concerned, to me, it comes off as, let me try to chip away at who this man is. You've had your own daughter, Willow, when she was younger, write on paper saying that I wish Tupac was my father. Now, all this is instrumented from Jada. And let's go one step further with this. Most you got to call them actors. You can't use the word actors nowadays. Everybody's an actor. Most actors who happen to be female do not use the married name of the person they married happen to be in Hollywood. Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman. You didn't see Nicole Kidman say, hyphen Cruise.
Right.
You didn't see other people got married do it. They hang on the professional name. She knew she hyphen Smith that she would get more gigs. Why? Because she's Will Smith's wife.
Right. I agree with that.
Right. And so when you're that methodical from day one, don't be wrong. That's not one of my favorite actresses anyway. I personally get tired of the black women neck rolling in Hollywood for a long time. If I want black women neck rolling, I do it. I got it in my own life. I'm just seeing anybody on television or in the movies put their hand on their hip where their backbone won't slip and give me the neck roll. I ain't got time for that. To me, that's not acting. I'm sorry. And when it comes to actors, she's not really in the pantheon of these great actors. Will Smith, to his credit, became a very good actor. He's box office material. I dare anybody to take a look at the body of his work and look at the growth he has done to become an actor. 6 Degrees of Separation. That's the main movie you should see. That man has 75% of the dialogue in that movie. He is the actor of the family. He's the one who's the breadwinner. He's the one who has the name. She just happens to be there. from what I've seen, it's just too much emasculation from her to him. And personally, I mean, and this book doesn't do any better because all she does is go after him again. I personally, I just get tired of it.
But so like one of the guys, I guess in talk said that she should apologize. Well, that she should apologize for the whole thing. It wasn't an entanglement because they were already separated at that point. So and then I think then Cheryl Underwood came back and said no, she don't want him no apology because they weren't even together. My whole point of this is that everything Chris said I think is valid. But my point is, why are you standing by her and she's tearing you down? No doubt about it. But you're standing and you're allowing her. Is she not saying, you know what? When are you going to step up and be a man and defend yourself? Because that's what it looks like to me. And he's just not. He's just continuing to let her beat him down and beat him down. And he's almost acting as if it's punishment. Like I deserve this. I didn't do right by her, so I deserve this. What she's doing to me. That's how it is to me. And my point is like, well, if you feel that way, you're going to continue to let her do it. Then let her do it. Then you don't speak up for yourself. Other men should not be speaking up for you because you're not even defending yourself. So why should you other men step out there and do it for you? And then still to blame Jada. Jada's only doing what he's allowing her to do. Okay, back to fight.
Well, first of all, let's consider a couple things. Jada's in the news today because of her book. All right, yep. Let's go ahead and consider that. Jada is also, as Chris eloquently stated, is also the lesser of the two celebrities in this relationship. Let's go ahead and consider that. And I think in some small sense, I don't believe that Will Smith needs Jada professionally, but Jada needs Will professionally. However, but Will does need to try to maintain this innocent, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air image that he's always been able to ride in his success. Just think about the movie. I mean, think about from the Wild Wild West and the image that he has always progressed. Think about Pursuit of Happiness and the image that he's tried to maintain. Think about what's the movie with the robots? iRobot, is that
iRobot?
Right. He's this savior image. In the majority of his movies, he's the underdog that comes to be some level of success in the portrayal that he has in Pursuit of Happiness. He's the savior and fighting against these bandits that come in Wild Wild West, and he's the savior there. Then you fast forward to his these the 3 movies that he had out with the Men in Black, fighting against the aliens, saving the earth. He has this image as an actor and as a person of a wholesome individual, a positive person. And then when he gets married to Jada and he has Willow and he has the son, you know, he does the movie with his son. He's always portrayed to be a family man, someone that's wholesome. So not supporting Jada paints him in a bad light, paints him as somebody who's given up on his family, given up on his wife, and not helping her, not being there. Every decision Will has made has been to have a public image that he's a stand-up guy, that he's a stand-up person. He wants the public to believe that he is something that other people or other men should ascribe to be, even from his movies to his personal life. That's the image that he's wanted to always portray. And so now it makes it no different. The issue that I have has nothing to do with Will Smith. The issue that I have is the lies that Jada tells in this book. You know, people are going to buy this book to read these lies. First of all, you want to sit here and let people believe that you was engaged to Tupac Shakur while he was in prison. If that's not as far as a lie, I mean, the math ain't mathing, okay? Math is not mathing. After 2 weeks of being in Rikers while Tupac was in jail, he was engaged to another woman that visited him just about every single day. So how in the world, Jada, when did you have time to get engaged to Tupac? The math ain't mathing. He was moved from Rikers to another facility. After he got out of jail, he got an annulment roughly 10 months after he got out of prison. So it wasn't after he got out of jail, because then he married and had another woman that wasn't Jada. And then at that point, that's when Jada and Will started talking and getting together. So when did any of this happen with Tupac? You may have loved you some Tupac, may have hung with him a couple of times, may have shown up to a video, may have even been a jump off for a time or two, but you never had reached the point where he proposed to you. Stop telling this lie. Stop telling this lie, Jada. Please stop telling this lie.
Ooh, okay, see, you told me something new because when was Tupac engaged or married? Who was it? Because I didn't know any of this.
Okay, so what's the young lady's name? So he got engaged right before getting convicted. What was her name? Keisha? Was it Keisha? Lord, I'm gonna have to look it up. I got my phone over here. But he got engaged and then he got married. Once he got out of prison, roughly 10 months after he got out, that marriage was annulled. And then he met another woman after, not too long after that. And they started dating, and I think they ended up, getting together. But at that same time, Jada ended up getting with Will. But you gotta also understand, Jada keeps telling this lie that her and Tupac were engaged.
Well, she seems to have like an obsession with Tupac that she just cannot let go. Like Tupac was the love of her life. I mean that's how she has said it at one point. But let's go back a little bit. Let me go back. So I understand Dr. Fight and Chris's point, but I'm still saying Will has the image. When at that point, I mean, to me, your image is destroyed at this point because now you come across as liars, both of you.
Keisha Morris.
Okay, that's what it was. Okay. But to me, they both lack credibility at this point because they both come across as liars because you've been lying to all of us. And let me be clear, we don't want to get in your personal business. It's not our place. But when you are in a public place, you don't have a public life, and our money supports your movies and all these other things. So we do have like a sort of a little bit interest in what goes on. But to have a lie going on for 7 years, I mean, what do you think that does for his wholesome, this whole wholesome, persona that he's trying to build? And then to go on global television and slap Chris Rock and talk about your wife. Jenny even came out and said, I looked at him as to say, your wife, you ain't called me your wife in years. Where is this coming from? Why all of this, Will? That's what I'm saying. Why all the lies? Why? And
Well,
it has to be more than just a persona, keeping this good boy image.
Go ahead, Chris.
Thank you. I think part of it deals with the fact of constant PR 24/7. And it's up to the people who are Hollywood stars or their PR people or combined to keep the rhetoric going. Jada was on CBS's The Late Show with Stephen Colbert and had mentioned that, for example, when you look at the dynamic, and we're going to go back to before all these lies, that she went to the Oscars with Will not being husband and wife, but after the slap and having to look at him and console him, then they left as husband and wife. Now, I've heard some BS over my life. That's probably the stankiest BS I've heard in my entire life. You cannot, once again, people who are in the thick of it, who lie like they do, have to make it believable. There was a saying that told me years ago, in order for a lie to work, it must be shrouded in truth. So the truth is, they got married, but you perpetuate the lie to give the image or the false illusion that they were married. Again, protecting each other's brands. So if you're going to the Oscars with the illusion everybody else thought you were married, and you weren't, again, you're perpetrating the fraud, you're continuing the lie. Why? Because you think that's the best interest for everybody involved. Now, I don't know about you, but lying where I come from does not bode well, whether it's in the dark or the light.
Yeah. I would tell you this. My mother always told me the worst thing in the world is a liar. She said, I hate a liar. That was if she hit one thought my sister and I was lying about something one time, she said, I'm gonna give you one time to tell me the truth because I hate a liar. And if I never grew up knowing anything else, it's like, yeah, she not, don't lie. But to lie for 7 years and then to have your kids to perpetuate the lie. That to me, do you consider yourself a good parent? Because a good parent, like you just said, you don't allow your children to lie and say it's okay. So I mean, do they even understand? To me, just just the dynamic of what they've done to their children, because it's huge in my book. You know, I know we got our butts whipped, about lying. So you can tell your kids, when people ask you about your parents, just don't say anything. You're telling your kids to lie. Is that not true? Is that not accurate? Not fun.
Well, so they've lived a lie. The kids are on the lie. I mean, their whole family dynamic is lies through and through. And I reference the image that Will Smith wants to portray. Let's look at some of the movies. Let's compare the movies real quick. And we'll start with Jada. Let's compare the movies. Jada has done movies like A Low Down Dirty Shame. She's done movies like Set It Off.
I mean, like,
done movies like the Matrix series.
I don't even remember.
She's done let's see, another movie that she's done. She was in
Girls Trip.
Girl Trip.
Girls Trip. Okay, yeah.
Girls Trip. So that's probably some of her top movies. I think she has some other ones. Maybe she did some voiceover for a few cartoon movies.
Madagascar or something. Yeah, Madagascar.
I think she was also in Bad Moms back in the day. So many of these movies don't portray her in the greatest light. I mean, they're criminals. I mean, many of these movies don't portray her. I mean, Girls Trip, she was kind of slutty. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, they don't portray Jada in her image in the family's light. Will don't take these kind of roles. If you look at some of his top selling movies, even in Bad Boys, which probably would paint him as a player, a hustler, but at the end of the day, he was a police officer, which he fought on the side of good. I mean, even if you look at the movie, what was he in, Hancock? He was a horrible person, but he would end up being a superhero. I mean, he's got a movie called I Am Legend. He has a movie called Hitch. Can we think of this movie Hitch, where he takes people who doesn't have a chance of getting a certain caliber of person and putting them in a probable situation? It's a love story, and many people fall in love with love story. He was an enemy of the state, Men in Black. When you begin to look at these images that he has portrayed, he has always portrayed a up and up person. Even here recently, when he did Emancipation. Now, don't get me wrong. I know a lot of people didn't watch the movie because it was on the heels of the slap at the Oscars. But I watched the movie, and can I tell you, it is a fantastic movie. Okay, it is a wonderful movie. He's done documentary movies such as Concussion, and he did the documentary movie of King Richard. Now, we all know the real story behind King Richard, but America fell in love once again with Will Smith only because of how he was portraying a father caring for his two daughters. Now, who doesn't say anything about the other 7 children he got? But anyway, he's portraying what looks to be and appears to be a family man because of how he cares for his two daughters. You see the two images, what Will has portrayed himself as and what Jada has portrayed herself as, and they are not the same. They are not the same. But somewhere in between the two is the truth. Somewhere in between the criminal that is robbing banks just to stay alive and the one that's saving the world, neither one of these images are probably 100% true, but somewhere in the middle lies fact. And now what they're doing through this book is trying to seep some truth out of there in a way that's going to say, oh, the Smiths are really human like the rest of us. They go through stuff like everybody else. They're trying to humanize the Smiths to be able to gain American approval and appreciation. Understand the interview that she just did.
I think they're going about it the wrong way. I mean,
no, for real.
That's not going to work.
Look at the interview that Jada just did. She went on to what show was that she went on to?
The Today Show.
I can't remember. The Today Show. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she went on the Today Show and she talked about the separation between her and Will. And the comment that she made was, I'll definitely say it's benefited a lot. It's benefited their relationship for her to write down their separation and relationship issues. It's benefited them. Do you hear the adjectives and the words that she's using to describe this process that they've gone through, from their separation to her writing about it. It's become lethargic. It's become some sense of healing for them, and they're on their way to amends. She's using words that especially American housewives would love to hear, because I sit at home with a husband that goes to work and I don't feel connected, but me chronicling and journaling and writing and telling my story in some way has brought us back together again. It's a love story that has us to understand we have some ups and downs, but now this book is bringing us back together again. Her success is bringing us back together again.
Okay.
It's a mental thing that they're playing on people in American society.
This is definitely a male perspective, because when
this is not a male perspective, because most males don't buy these books to buy into this BS.
We're not bothered with that at all.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you, if you open up every single paper, article, website that is written now about this book today, it's talking about that. It's not talking about anything else in her. You can do a Google search, and I promise you, the one thing that's going to come up in the first few pages is the fact that she is calling this help for their relationship. That is because most marketing and most media marketing caters to a woman. This is fact. I don't care what anybody say. Marketing caters to women. Women spend more money than men any day. Women are going to buy this book 3-to-1 to a woman to a man every single day. So they are marketing this by showing this as a love story between Will and Jada, and how it's bringing them back. And women are going to go to Amazon and run the Books a Million, Barnes and Nobles, and buy this book off the shelves. By the end of the week, it'll be a New York Times bestseller.
Jada is portraying herself as a victim. She has put herself in that position as being the victim, as being a woman that was unloved by this so-called powerful man in Hollywood. And as most women are gonna say, okay, she's doing a good job at it, but in essence, it's crap. It's crap. Is what she's doing. She's lying.
It's gonna be a New York Times bestseller.
It may be coming a bestseller. It may be coming a bestseller, but I still know, being a woman, you can look behind all them lies that Jada is spinning. Now, why men are buying it or protecting Will about it, I still don't understand. Why I'm asking you guys, because I'm still trying to say Will needs to
buying this book.
I'm saying Will needs to speak up and say if this is true or not true. Why are you allowing her? Because Jada is a narcissist. If anything, if anybody knows that Jada is narcissistic, that's just what it is.
The man answer the question, yeah.
Oh, I didn't even hear. I'm sorry, Chris. Go ahead.
No, it's cool. No, it's I wouldn't take that if I was Will, but I'm not Will, so I don't know what his mindset is. I don't know if he's looking for some sort of redemption or try to get back with this woman. I don't know. I personally not take it. I would have cut off a long time ago. That's just me.
But basically, who's buying this book though?
Oh, I'm not. No, hell no. No, I could take that money and go somewhere else with it. I don't know.
But who is buying the book though?
Women are buying the book because that's your audience got to cater to. So when you cater to the love strings and the I'm the victim and I have to play this role and everything else, and I have excerpts that are out on various websites, is to cater to your audience. Like, for example, when the first book was out, say, for example, Judge Greg Mathis, he talked about tough love from his mother. It catered to men, as he said in his presser, that he wanted to cater to men because he wanted men to change their lives if they were criminals like himself. So once you understand your target audience, that's who you play to. And what Dr. Fight is saying is correct. You know what target audience you're playing into. Women relationships, no matter what sex you belong to, people are going through breakups and makeups and everything else. So once you play to them, I'm buying that book. Why? Because I can see myself in Jada. And that's how it goes.
Let me just go here for a sake. I'm going to agree with Chris. I ain't buying that book. Because I looked on, it's like $15 on Amazon. I'm going to take my $15 to Wells. I ain't buying the book.
But here's the thing. It's just that I'm on Brown's side too. I'm not wasting my money on Jada, because Jada is being from one woman to another. I can see exactly who and what you are. There is no way I believe anything that she says. My focus is Will. Dr. Fight, to your credit, all the things you said about Will, his work, his body work, I think is right on point. But I'm still not understanding as a man, as a brother, however you want to call it, why are you allowing this 90-pound woman? What did you do to her? What is your perception of what you did to her that's allowing her to say all these things and you just stand quiet? Like Chris said, I wouldn't take it. So Dr. Fight, I don't think you would take it. What will be the point that he will say, you know what, I've had enough. How many others should stop talking about me? However she wants to sell books, but leave me out of it. You all haven't been married for 7 years.
L, you will never, and I do mean ever, understand this.
Okay, come on.
Never understand it.
Come
There's
on.
no way in the world you will ever understand. But there is something that a woman does to a man that he'll say, you know what, I want to walk out. But then he'll think about what she does and say, well, wait a minute, maybe I might be acting a little too irrational.
Okay, let me just go.
Always come back. I'll sit on. Let me tell you something. Now.
Here's what I will never understand is that when you're allowing a woman to belittle you like that, at that point, well, I thought
belittle.
Really, I thought you was kind
of okay.
Sexy
you use the word belittle. Let me see your
now he's turned into a punk because you just
no, everybody look, this ain't a man thing. This ain't a woman thing. This a human thing. Let's go see. Let's go ahead and do it.
Okay, so you want to say
a human thing. I know women. Now hold on. Now wait a minute. Now wait. Let's keep it 100 here. I know women, and you know women too, that walked into a punch and still live with them. Still live with them. And then you want to sit here and say, oh, well, it's justifiable because, you know, he crazy and it's just not that easy just to leave. Like, you know, that's the double standard. Because now you're saying that Will Smith should have left a long time ago because he's been punked by a woman. Not one time, but a few times. Right? If it's that easy for Will Smith, why ain't it easy for that woman who walked into the punch and talking about, oh, I'm sorry, he still love me though.
I think we made it clear that Jada is living off of the last name Smith. So that's why she sticks around. But
understand,
until Will, you know what, you don't get any more from me, then she's going to continue to do so. My thing is, why are you keep giving her all of this?
Will Smith's image. Will Smith's image is tied
right now. Your image is tarnished to the hilt right now. I'm gonna need you.
Okay, to who? To who? Because if he can still sell this image to producers in Hollywood,
I don't think
it does not matter what you and I think about Will Smith.
But I don't think he's selling that image like that anymore.
Listen, Apple TV released Emancipation in 2022, even after the image of Will Smith was tarnished. Even after Apple Television. Now we gotta understand Apple, the company Apple. I'm on an Apple right now. My phone is an Apple. My watch is an Apple. Apple, a multi-billion-dollar company, multi-million-dollar company, decides to sign and do business with Will Smith. You can't now. Me and you, I ain't got nowhere near close to how much money Apple got. So Apple made a decision knowing what they knew about Will Smith and still got into business with him.
Because it boils down to the bottom line. They had already made the movie. They said, I have to release it, otherwise we're going to lose billions of dollars.
No.
I have to.
No, you're not going to lose billions of dollars for releasing the movie.
They looked at it and they said, what's our bottom line? What are we going to do if we hold off and not release this? What are we going to lose? It all boils down to the one. They said, we'll go ahead.
They could have held on. They could have held on to that movie. They could have held on to that movie for another 2-3 years. They could have worked the deal out with the Smiths that said, listen, we're going to hold on this movie, shelf it, and let things die down, and then release it later. They could have. They could have made it. They already purchased the rights to the movie. They outbid Amazon. They outbid Paramount. They outbid a lot of other major movie production companies that wanted it. Apple outbid them all. I think they paid $400 and something million.
Because you're coming off the heels of course. Any press is better than no press. So even coming off the heels of the slap, of course they say go ahead and release this up. People are still going to pay to watch it just because of the Oscar issue. Because what happened at the Oscars, Chris?
Then why is Bel Air still doing as good as this doing on Peacock?
I don't know because I don't watch it, so I can't tell you because I don't watch it.
It's a bad show. Season
I've
2
never watched
was even better than season 1. You hear me? I watch it. Listen, y'all. Don't listen to L. L is a hater. Okay.
Oh,
You want quality television? You need to go to Peacock and watch season 1 and season 2. I'm trying to tell you, get you some popcorn and cut out all your Saturday. You're gonna have a good time. Woo! That thing is bad. They need to come up with a Bel Air movie. I'm in the theater watching it the day it come out.
I will say the TV show that is the book.
well, I'm glad I watch it. I just don't have the desire to watch it. For me, you changed it. It became more of a drama than the original comedy that it was. So I'm just not interested in seeing that. That's just me.
What?
It works though.
If it works,
Thank you, Brianna. Tell us the truth. It worked. This here works. And Will Smith is executive producer, and he doing business. And now Coco Jones got a career out of it. I mean, she's got probably one of the number 1 singles that's on the charts, and she's got a singing career that's birth. She's been everywhere. All these actors got jobs, and they are phenomenal. These are phenomenal actors. I'm not talking about no B-listers. No, these people deserve consideration for Emmys.
See, Dr. You're trying to make it appear that I'm a hater. Let me be clear.
You are.
I'm not hating. I'm not hating. I don't like the fact that pardon my French today, that I feel like you're being Jada's bitch. And I'm gonna need you not to do that.
But you failed to miss the
I'm
point.
gonna need you to be a man and show me something. Because I'm not a fan of Jada Pinkett Smith. I never have been. I've always said that from the beginning. But if you are allowing this woman to do this to you, and I'm not understanding why. Forget about
It's money. Look, at the end of the day, you're making this choice about money. You fail to miss. Will Smith wants to. I told you. I don't know how the way to tell you this. Will Smith will always be with Jada. He going nowhere. You want to know why? They will never officially say through public that they got a divorce. They will be separated. They'll have rocky times. They'll have tough times, but he'll never get a divorce. You want to know why? Because he'll still show his humanity that as a person in a relationship, y'all have ups, y'all have downs, y'all separate, y'all come back together, y'all work things out. But that image of alone being a human being in America, where you don't have a perfect relationship, but you have one that you will always work on and you will never give up on. That can sell everywhere.
You cannot have a relationship when you live in your separate household and he lives in hers. She moved out of the home in Calabasas and moved.
Listen. You focus on the minutia.
Let me say this. I have known.
Focus on the minutia. That ain't the point.
So they have a relationship. So we can stop saying they have a relationship.
No. See,
there's
look,
no relationship.
let's go to court. There's no
relationship there.
Let's go to court.
So we can.
The truth ain't what's important. What you can prove is what's important.
They're legally separated. That means they have no relationship. They're legally separated. That's their relationship. Let me go way back. My grandfather was never.
What did Jada say today? What did Jada say today?
Huh?
What did Jada say today?
I don't know. I try not to listen to Jada on a daily basis.
She said it's bringing them back together.
Oh, I think that's BS. That's
you call it what you want, but it's marketing and it sells.
And you know what? Even more than that, it's terrible. It's a terrible example of relationships.
No, it's not.
Like the black love.
What's a good example of a relationship?
It's a terrible example of
serving your estranged husband at his grandmother's wake. Is that healthy?
What are you talking about?
Drake.
I'm talking about. Remember we were talking about what was it?
Drake. Talking about Drake.
Served at the funeral. His his wife,
soon to be ex-wife,
the soon to be ex-wife served him the divorce papers while he was sitting there at his grandmama's funeral.
Well, I kind of thought that was kind of interesting myself.
I thought that was interesting. Yeah, but two persons who have been separated and now she's on the television and doing shows and doing interviews talking about this is bringing us back together again. That's not interesting.
And you know, it's so abusive because all of this negativity you all have had throughout your relationship, and now you talk about bringing it back together again. You both need to be on your couch and a whole bunch of other psychiatrists, therapists, because you're both dysfunctional. Will and Jada are dysfunctional, and I pray to God they get a divorce to spare us all from talking about them. Get a damn divorce, because I'm sick of you two, because you're both dysfunctional as hell.
Chris, go ahead.
Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead.
Chris got the church finger.
Yeah, I got the church finger up. Yeah. Yes, Lord. Look at it from Will's perspective from this angle. From the standpoint of money, like Dr. Fight just said, there is no prenup. There's no prenup.
Where you get that from, Chris?
I got that from Esquire.com.
I don't know about that. We're gonna have to check that one, Chris.
We'll check it out. Let's just say for crap and giggles for this conversation. Say there is no prenup.
Okay.
It's cheaper to keep her. We've heard that line for many, many years.
Yeah.
And from a PR perspective and a money perspective, if I divorce this woman, she gets half of pretty much my empire, as Fred Sanford once said. She don't deserve it. She doesn't, because she made her name off of negativity and emasculating me in public and everything else. No, she ain't getting it. So you live in Calabasas and eat fruit, whatever you gotta do, and I'll stay on the other side of town and keep it that way. Why? Because if we get a divorce, you don't deserve my money. You just don't. So it's from a standpoint of separation. You stay on side of the street, on my side of the street. You have to be careful what you wish for. You just might get it. Maybe in the beginning when they were, I don't know, if they together said that we can create this image of our relationship in public, not everything was meant for public fodder. Not everything was meant for the public eye and the public ears and everything else. But they made it into that. So they both made it into that. It's just that right now you see her banking on it by having the book and having her people. And once going back to what Dr. Fight said about the PR of the audience that you want to buy said book, you have to give them something. So any type of book that comes out, no matter what format it is, it's always something controversial lines to sell it. They just can't go on and say, well, I was born in a grass shed. That's boring. Nobody go buy a book about that. But if I said, hey, man, I was down with 3 women at one time and everything, now I got people's attention. It's just like being in a crowded room and all of a sudden somebody says the word sex. Somebody turns around. You have people's attention. So when you're going again toward your target audience, and once again, I think going back to Will, his image is at stake. He cannot come out and say what he wants to say. It still stings from the slap situation that tarnishes career and everything else. And everything, even though he done well with the Emancipation movie, as Dr. Fight said, they could have shelved it. So he's been okay trying to rebuild who he is from the standpoint of the public image is concerned. But what's at stake here is the fact that Jada has made her relationship fodder to the public, always negative. I'm the victim. And as a fellow bald person, because she's bald too, I'm quite offended. You're making a bad image for us bald people.
But
Thank you.
But I'm trying to understand, like when I hear you two, and I hear Steven, and I hear, talking like Ed Lover, even, why are we laying the blame on Jada when Will, you're the one that could stop it. You could stop all of it. He really could.
Okay, let's.
I mean, I understand he's talking about his image, but that does not change the fact that I'm not going to allow someone to continue to publicly, defame me, my character, all of that, just so you can add more money to your bank account, as Navarro said from The View. Jada does it every time she needs more money added to her bank account. You use me, just like even Chris Rogers came out and said, just said, you know what, I need her to keep my name out of her mouth, because even she even said too, well, when she was boycotting the Oscars back in 17 or whatever, 16, she said Chris asked her out on a date. He's like, why are you even talking about me? So why is she bringing all these people into her mess? And why are you all just allowing her to do this? Now, Chris is not.
Oh, okay, El, I'm sorry. El, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
So say you were very popular, you're out there acting and doing talk shows, everything else, and you got everybody knows who you are, everybody knows your name, and you had an ex or guess someone you stayed with, say his name was Fred. And every time Fred come out in the public, he's bad-mouthing you. L beat me, took my wallet and my shoes to beat me down to my socks and everything else. Every time Fred comes out, he says something negative about you. And then say Fred, who once again, say you have say your net worth is $100 million and Fred chipped in $10. So all of a sudden he wants to get a divorce and wants half your stuff. have the empire you created, and Fred wants half of that. How would you feel about that?
Okay, so first of all, I probably would do like Sherry Shepherd does. She talks about her exes, so I'm gonna beat you to the punch. So I'm gonna talk about you the same thing like Steve Harvey does. Steve Harvey talks about his exes all the time. So I'm gonna beat you to the punch. So I'm gonna talk about you, so you can't come out and tell anything about it because I've already put it all out there, for the world to see. Second of all, honestly, back in the day, Will said how he had gone through all his money, and so he would never go through that again. He would never lose that again. I don't honestly think Will's married Jada without a prenup. I don't believe that that's accurate. Now I check and see. I said because there's no way a man's gonna know you trying building up your wealth. Will have more money when he married Jada, so there's no way I think he would get into a relationship without her without a prenup. Now, do I think he probably promised her X amount of dollars and maybe he don't want to come release all that money to her? So maybe that's the thing as well. But I'm just saying, at some point you have to weigh it and say, what's best for me, for my sanity, my peace. Do I want this woman to keep writing books, keep talking about me, keep having my name on her lips, even though we spent 20 years together? No, I don't. So I'm gonna pay you to shut up. I'm gonna pay you. How much money do you want, Jada? How much do you want for me to pay you for you to stop talking? So I can go on and I can continue to rebuild and have my career. Because right now you are destroying me, and she is. Why would you allow someone to continue to destroy you? I will never, not intentionally, sit back and allow someone to purposely destroy me and all that I worked for. No way. No way. If it means me coming clean with something I have to tell you, I'm gonna put it out there instead of letting somebody else tell my story. I'm gonna tell my own story so you can shut up.
It ain't enough money in the world for Jada.
That's what I would do. Like to fight Chris anywhere, I mean, I would just tell my story. I wouldn't let Jada keep dragging me through the mud. I wouldn't do it.
I'm telling you right now, you gotta understand that people who love money and want to always be marketable and make it have persons that they hire that are marketing and media persons that let them know what optimal image will maximize the best money, their best earning potential. And the market for love stories is at an all-time high.
But
from love stories to comeback kids to the underdog. These are kind of stories that sell. Will Smith can't paint him as an underdog anymore. He's made too much. He has had too much success in music and movies. He's had entirely too much success. So he's no longer the underdog. The Will Smith of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Summertime, that Will Smith, the underdog Will Smith from West Philly, and growing up in the hood and making it to Hollywood and being in music, breaking it in the music industry. That Will Smith, you can't market that anymore. He's no longer the underdog. So what's next? What's your most profitable and marketable solution? Do you know Anna Navarro on The View opened up the show by saying that Jada and Will separated so that she could sell books?
She did say that.
But that's sad.
I don't think
every decision that Will Smith and Jada has made, the one off-script decision that was made was Will Smith going on stage slapping Chris Rock. That was an off-script decision. Every decision they have made up to this point has been calculated for them to maximize their earning potential. The Red Table Talk show was a calculated decision for them to make money.
That was awful.
I mean, it's everything they have done has produced income for their entire family. You think their son signing a Gucci contract and dressing like a woman wasn't a family decision?
No. I
don't care what anybody say. It was. It was a family decision. What's going to sell clothes? What's going to make them money? It was a calculated decision.
Hold on, let me jump in real quick. I got to let Elle know this. Now, this is on the independent.co.uk and also on people.com. While discussing her new memoir, Worthy, Jada revealed that she and Will did not sign a prenup when they were married back in 1997 because they knew divorce wasn't in the cards for them. So this is Jada saying this from the extra from her book. They did not sign a prenup.
But now, do we really believe that?
Say that again.
Do we really believe that? I just don't believe it.
You don't believe it? Oh, okay.
Knowing who Will is, and I know know about Will, but knowing men in general, when men have money like that, there is no way in the world that you're going to marry someone. I don't care what you all say. Divorce is not an option. I'm not just leaving my money open like that. I'm not leaving my money open like that.
Well, he did.
And if you did, you're a bigger fool than I thought.
Yeah.
I hear you.
They not getting divorced.
I beg them to get a divorce. I mean, for all of our sake, I need you all to get a
James Brown.
Ain't got nothing to do with us.
We're tired of hearing about it. I'm tired of hearing about it. I need them to get a divorce.
She already said that she cannot break that promise to them getting a legal divorce. She already said that, so they ain't getting no divorce. They're gonna be separated and going back and forth with each other until one of them croak.
Remember they said on that red ass table, bad relationship for life. That's the only thing I believe in the whole thing. They were right about that one.
But how do you even call what they have a relationship? It's not even a relationship. Don't you want to be?
That's between them.
But don't you want to be
a business deal?
Children?
Apparently not.
Don't you want to be a good example for your kids because your kids are effed up?
What?
The kids
that's long gone. Okay, that's long gone. Good example for kids. You seen these kids lately? That is long.
Those are the most unhappy young people I've ever seen in my life. I don't care what you say. Those are the most unhappy young people I've ever witnessed in my entire life. They'll never know a good healthy relationship because they've never seen one. They don't have an example of one.
But they will be rich for the rest of their life.
And you know what? You all can talk about the money factor, and that's great and all. But you know what? In the long run, money is not going to give you the happiness. I know wealthy people all over the world, but when it comes down to it, money does not make them happy. And wealthy people will tell you that, yeah, it's great to have it. It's comfort. I can go buy whatever I want, travel, do whatever I want to. But in the long run, is that going to give me the comfort and the love that I want at nighttime or daytime, whatever time of day?
I hear this all the time. And I know people going to email me and they're going to have a lot to say, but I don't care. I hear people say it's all the time. Money don't make you happy. Money don't bring happiness. Let me tell you this. It probably don't. But it's a good down payment on something. Okay? It's a good down payment on some happiness.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm sad when my car breaks down. But I feel a whole lot better when I got the money in my pocket in order to pay for it to get fixed. You know what I mean? Money ain't everything, but it's something. You know what I mean? And that's what people have to understand. These kids might be messed up, but the day these kids decide they want to go to therapy, they got money to be able to pay for it. I mean,
that's right.
That fight that's so jaded in so many ways. I don't even know how to
It's real.
That's if I can continue that in this segment if you like.
Yeah. That's so jaded. I don't even know where to begin with that. How?
Well, would you want to hold a warm body at night or look at a warm bank account?
Now, y'all know how I feel about this situation here. Now,
no, that's why I asked it.
To fight. I said my next. I said you gotta have your own money. You gotta have your own money in the bank and all things like that. You gotta be, and I'm cool with that. I told you I'm happy with saying that. But with that being said, I also want to be able to have a conversation with you. I want to like you. I want to be able to say, okay, yeah, you not only have the money, but you're also my friend. You're a companion. Now if I have one without if I had to have money, then I don't want to just choose the money factor, and we don't really like each other. Then we need to live on different coasts. I like maybe see each other maybe twice a year or whatever. Then that's how it has to be. But I don't.
Are you not describing Jada and Will right now?
Not like you, huh?
Are you not describing Jada and Will right now?
No, I'm describing me.
It sounds eerily similar.
No. Because you know what? They have built up just a bunch of lies to all of us, which is probably why I'm a little offended. Because Jada, I never too much believe. But Will, I had a certain amount of respect for you, Will, and and slowly but surely, this is just all going away, because you're allowing this one woman. This one woman to destroy everything that you've worked for. I don't care what you said, keeping his mouth quiet and praising her, that's the wrong way to go. So whoever your PR people are, I'm going to need you to tell them they're not guiding you in the right direction. That's just my opinion.
You know,
You're asking the right person.
I noticed a pattern coming on this program.
Yep.
I noticed a pattern, and I love all y'all, and I love L. But goddamn you, I noticed a pattern. Relationships, L gets hot. I'm talking about hot as L. I'll put it like that because I think in your mind, you relive past relationships in your mind, depending on what the topic is. You get hot. I'm talking hotter than hot. I'm like, wait a minute, we just slow your roll a little bit. Everything will be all right. But you get mad. Look. You probably start the neck roll a little bit and put your hand on your hip and everything else. I said before about black women getting mad. You get mad as L.
Here's the thing. I don't get us not mad. I'm passionate about it because you know what?
That's mad. That's mad.
Here's the thing. I love my brothers very much. I love you all, black men. Well, a lot of y'all. But some of y'all I can't stand. I'm gonna be honest. Some of y'all asses I can't stand. And that's because
that's the reason why black people can't get along now.
But it's because I have been a witness of how black women have been treated by certain black men, and it's just in me. So certain things I'm not going to tolerate because I've witnessed it and I've been a part of it. So I'm going to why can't I hold you accountable? You're a black woman, you're a black man. Why can't I hold you accountable and tell you why you make me so angry, why I'm so frustrated, why I want you to do better, why I want you to look better in the eyes of other people because you don't look good to a lot of people. A lot of black men don't look good to a lot of people. But what you should do is look good to us as black women, and you mistreat us. That's why I get angry from. That's why my anger and my passion comes from because we get mistreated and we give you our all. And then when we get in the end,
and there's men who give their all.
Few and far between.
No. See, I'm not gonna get into all that because again, see, everybody want to break it down to the women give all and everything else. No, some of y'all are full of it, and y'all know who you are. Not saying the women. I'm talking about some of y'all know who you are because you're manipulative from day one.
Oh, now I agree with you on that.
No. But don't agree now because earlier you talk about the emancipation, the black women. I love y'all, black men, everything else. So no, the thing about it is the following. Here's what it is. As Dr. Fight said earlier, human being first. Let's go with that because I agree with that. Human first, and of course, whatever your sex is. What happens is because of the national and international dialogue, you are correct. Women have been hurt too. Women have been hurt tremendously. I understand that. But the man side is never talked about because the man is the one who's the villain off the bat. It takes two. So some people, don't get me wrong, in some relationships, one does more than the other. We've established that. But the real dialogue next to the woman is the men who get hurt too. The men who come in and trying to be and doing what's right and get manipulated by women. So that conversation never happens because we don't want to ruin the image of women being victims and everything else. If we want to be doing this together, it has to be a conversation of everybody involved. You're going to hurt some feelings, absolutely, because something like that is emotionally tied up into the fact that you're getting in a relationship, or dare I say, get married. That's your better for worse, sickness and health. That's you part the whole nine. After the romanticism of the vows, it takes hard work to be married. It really does. And so, but what gets the misnomer sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes, is the man does this and the man does that and everything. We don't talk about what the women do because they want to keep their secret on lock sometimes. You can have an honest dialogue if you're constantly blaming one side and not blaming yourself for what you've done. It's two sides to every story. You just can't go with one. And that's where it gets lost in translation. Ellie's absolutely correct about when it comes to women give their all. But when men talk about to give their all, I don't want to hear it. No, see, that ain't cool.
See, now I'm going to disagree with you a little bit, Chris.
Of course.
Well, of course.
Of course.
Yeah, okay. But when I speak of, I truly understand that there are some trifling women in the world. Trust me, I get it and I see it. And I see it. But the women that I speak to and that I am, engaged with all the time, I hear the stories about the relationship. And then, but I always ask the question, well, what did you do? What did you do? And then it immediately turns, well, hold on.
You do not ask what they do.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
You don't. I have sat there and I've heard you, and you don't say what they do. You sit there and blame the man when he did X, Y, Z. and he did this.
She don't hear all of my conversations.
Don't sit me and lie to. Don't sit me and lie to American people.
She don't hear all of my. She don't hear all my conversations.
Not lie to American people.
I do it more times than not. The woman, if she's a genuine woman or a real woman, as I like calling it, she would say, "Well, I said this, and this." I'm gonna be honest. My sister and I would talk. We talk all the time. You know, but 2 days left because both our husbands are both deceased. But not that when she would call me to say something about her husband, I would say, well, what you do? I would say, yeah, what did you say? What you do? Then she would say, well, no, I did this and this, but that's only because he said so and so. Now, when she talked to me, I pretty much would know stuff that her husband would say and do. So she probably was telling the truth on certain things, and she would know certain things that if I told her that my late husband did, because he's done those things before. So we would understand that our spouses at the time that they have said or done certain things. And then too, also when you're dating, I've dated since being a widow, and I understand, and I've met some that's not so truthful and liars, whatever, and I call them out on it. But the thing is that I've always learned from it. If I leave a bad one and I talk to a new one, then I automatically know. I said, well, ask him certain questions about his behavior. And if you're not giving me the right answer, I'm gonna see you on your merry way. So yeah, I would say at that point, yeah, it's the man's fault because I know when you're lying. I know when you're lying.
But it ain't always the man.
It ain't always the man's fault, and the man is not always the liar. I'm saying that clearly, but the majority of the time, I find it is. It is. This is what I feel. That's what I find.
Now that's being completely unfair.
I don't think it's been unfair. I said from what I find, your experience may be different. Dr. Fighting Mary, Chris, your experiences are different. And I get Chris saying that it takes two. We all sit down and talk. But realistically, in a relationship, one person is always going to be blamed more than the other because one is going to do more wrong than the other. I'm not going to say they're not going to do anything wrong, but one is always more wrong than the other in a relationship. I think
people can be equally wrong. I don't agree with that.
It's always going to be one going to be equally more wrong than the other.
No.
Equally more wrong.
Yeah, equally. I mean,
it can't be equal if it's
more. It's going to be more wrong than the other. That's how I find it. That's how I see it. When you say something or you do something, your reaction, it's just human nature though. I'm not. It may not always be the man that's wrong. It could be the woman. I don't put women in a relationship that they're wrong. But they're not going to admit it. But they're wrong.
Yeah.
You never admit that.
Yeah.
Because I'm never going to admit that I'm always wrong. Because I ain't always wrong. I'm never going to admit that.
Well, you're never wrong.
I'm wrong sometimes, but when it comes, I'm wrong sometimes. When it comes to something major, I'm not going to accept that if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
This is new.
I'm not going to accept that.
When have you admitted that you're wrong?
Well, your daddy ain't here to answer, but he would tell you sometimes I would say that, but he ain't here to answer.
Okay.
Oh, I got to find somebody to get that.
Okay, Dr. Fight, come on, because you're looking at me with your head till the what?
I figured it out.
Oh, God, it's going to be something I actually don't like, but come on.
You are a hopeless romantic.
Yeah, he might be right there.
You are a hopeless
I think he's
romantic.
right there.
You want people to tell the truth about where they are so that they can adjust and find someone that actually they can really live a life with and be happily ever after. You like that. You like the good image of marriage.
I do.
I figured it out. And this is why you're so vehemently against married couples who are only together for business purposes.
Yes.
Because it's not a romantic story. At the fundamental underlining of what you want two couples that if they're going to tough it out, they're going to tough it out. If they're not going to tough it out, then go ahead and get divorced. You want at the end of the day to see two people together that want to be together.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the fact of the matter is most of your Hollywood couples, as much as they want to have love, they also want to maintain what's built their lives up to this point. So they have to try to marry the idea of who I am to what I want. And sometimes that marriage is not what the American public probably would want to hear about. But what they end up doing is finding marketable ways. But how politics works is they call it the spin cycle. Whatever happens in this 15-minute news cycle, we have to be able to tell the narrative about it that people still want to go to the polls and support us. I got to give a narrative. I got to spin this that it benefits me. And only thing Will and Jada are doing is spinning their situation that benefits each of them. Now, I don't know. I don't know, but I'll be willing to say that Will Smith in the next 2 or 3 years is gonna have a book out. I don't know. I don't know any of this, but it's probably part of the 5-year plan that Will and Jada have. I'll release my book first, say that we're, this book is, therapeutic in some way, that is bringing us back to the table to continue to have conversations about what does life look for us moving forward, how it's bringing us back together, how we're falling in love all over again. And then in about 3 years, Will come out and say, Jada wrote her book and we're working out things. We went to therapy together. We did these things together. And then when Will write his book, it's going to be a success story about their marriage and how it has recovered from the doldrums of despair and how it was the start of this journey for us to come back together and fall in love. You got to understand who elected Barack Obama. Who elected Barack Obama? It was not the rich and famous. It was not black people who went to the polls in droves. Who elected Barack Obama was housewives that sat at home and watch Michelle Obama on the Today Show, watch Michelle Obama on The View, watch Michelle Obama going around the country talking about her husband and how they have a wholesome relationship.
But Dr. Fight,
white women.
But Dr. Fight, that's a horrible comparison.
No, wait, hold on. Let me finish. I'm not comparing Michelle Obama.
But you're comparing the actions.
Let me finish.
But you're comparing the actions, though.
No, what I'm comparing is
Michelle Obama
Listen, what I'm comparing is the market. What you got to understand is Jada is following the same market that Michelle followed to tap into the consumer to tell that story. See, what you're doing, Elle, is you're going to Will and saying, you letting this woman punk you, you letting her do all this, but you're missing the whole scheme of what they're doing in order to keep this facade moving forward. And see, since you don't like the facade, you just decide to ignore it. But the truth is the truth. She's following the same marketing strategy that Michelle Obama followed because she wants these same persons to be intrigued enough to at least go to Barnes and Nobles and buy the book. You might not like it. You may not even read all of it, but you are going to at least purchase it. And once you purchase it, I stay getting money. And that's why she's on the Today Show. That's why she's going to go on The View. That's why she's going to do these news articles with Ebony and Essence and all of these other persons, because she's selling a story about a love story between her and Will that these women that sit at home, make sure their house is clean, their husband dinner is together when he come home. These women want to hear a romantic story about them coming back together again. That's why they went out and bought 50 Shades of Grey. That's why they went out and bought what's homegirl? They wrote Men on Mars and Women Are from Venus. They go out and buy these books and they sitting on the coffee table and they done read these books sitting at home waiting for their husband to come home. They got book clubs with other housewives in the neighborhood. They get they little pimento cheese sandwiches and they get they strawberry water and they come together and they drink and talk about the book and they have conversations. But all these girls in this group bought this book.
But
that's the point.
But the problem that I'm having with what you're saying is the fact that you're trying to sell it as some kind of a love story, or them coming back.
I'm not selling it as a love story.
They've been separated for 7 years. To me,
that's the love story.
If they were going to come together at some point, it would have happened before 7 years.
That's the point, though.
Opinion.
I
don't see me selling it as a love story.
You can't judge everybody's process. You can't judge it because in 7 years, what they've done.
Their process is lunacy. That's what it is.
Call it whatever you want to call it. I mean, Jada will call it a New York Times bestseller book. I mean, Will is gonna call it a New York Times bestseller book. And once Will come off of this Oscars hiatus, and after that he's been kicked out, and can't come to the Oscars and won't be recognized, he's gonna come out with another movie and be considered. He's gonna sit there at the Oscars and he's gonna have his apology tour and he's gonna write his book and everybody is gonna go buy it because we love, as American society, we love a comeback story. We love a romantic drama. That's what we love as Americans.
I think we'll have a comeback, but I think that like something that Stephen A. Smith said is that, you know, even Will, the way you have even approached Chris Rock or the things you haven't said to him or how you just said when he's ready to talk, I'm here to listen. He said even Stephen A. Smith said as a man, Will, you got to do better than that. You got to come more correct with that. Because you're just saying that's not meaning anything. So if he's gonna do an apology tour, he's gonna have to really, really do it big. I think he can make amends, but I think he's gonna have to cut strings with Jada, but emotionally, financial ties with her in order for him to get to that point. Because right now he's just spinning. I agree with you. He's just spinning and he's going nowhere. He's got to figure out what direction he needs to go in order to you know, put his career back on the right trajectory. Because right now,
no, his career is right where he wants it to be. That's what you're saying.
I highly doubt that. If you asked him that, I highly doubt that he would agree with you.
Ask King Richard. Ask Emancipation. Ask Bel Air. His career is where he wants it to be right now.
Chris, your thoughts?
You also got to factor in what we're looking at is a PR soap opera. This is what a PR soap opera looks like. It's no different from All My Children, General Hospital, Days of Our Lives. All this is happening in real time in front of us. So everybody plays the role. You may not like what Don King was as a boxing promoter, but Don King knew how to sell a story. Don King said you must have the black hats and white hats, the angels and the demons. In order for the story to work, you had to tell a good story, people buy into it. So when he was a promoter, the Thriller in Manila, everything else that he sold was based upon a story between, of course, the two fighters going into the ring. Once you rate the story, people buy into it, then there you go. Like Dr. Fight said about ticket sales and things of that nature, going back to, say, for example, Don King, in this situation, it's books, it's likes, it's hearts on the internet, it's eyeball on the screen, she goes to these various talking head programs to promote this book. It's done by calculation. Why? Because there's money at stake. And once again, you may not want to look at it that way, but again, everybody plays a role. You just said it earlier, Elle, she playing the role of the victim. So why not play up to it? So why not let everybody know how much of a victim I was? I got good to buy this damn book. So let me play the victim all the way in order for the book to be purchased.
I just think that's so. I think that's you looking at say the consumer or certain people saying, you really think I'm is that ignorant that I'm buying what you sell. That's how I look at it, and I'm not that ignorant, Jada. I'm a woman, probably same age as you. You can't fool me because I know what you're really doing and what you're all about. You're not very complicated. As a woman to looking at another woman, I figured you out. Now maybe she can fool other people and she can fool other, but certain people you cannot fool. I'm not that ignorant enough to buy your book and buy what you're selling. And Will, why are you allowing her to sell you like that? She's selling you no rent. That's my whole point.
I wouldn't say New York Times is low rent. I would not say that.
People buy the most horrible movies and they make money and they're poorly written, but they write people in a certain light that denigrates them as a human being, and they make lots of money. So okay, I understand what they're in it to make the money. I get that. But I'm just saying, don't think you're selling me something when I'm looking at you, when you're writing one thing and you're telling me something else. You're talking out of both sides of your mouth, but you're trying to play me as if I'm an ignorant person and you can pull the wool over my eyes. You can't. That's how I look at Jada. I think Jada is full of FOS.
You're right, but see, Jada's not talking to you. She ain't talking to you. She's talking to other people to get them to buy the book. You peeped her whole card. So she ain't talking to you. If she's doing 3-card money, and you know where the king is, ace and everything, she ain't talking to you. She's talking to other people trying to get the people, to run game on. So you don't count. It's the other people she got to talk to. That's what she's talking to.
So who she? So like I said, women like my age and her age, I don't really think that they're buying what she's selling. I think she's selling like maybe like you said to a younger people who maybe don't know about being in long-term relationships and how marriage actually works. Maybe that's what she's selling to. But I'm telling
No,
you,
I wouldn't even put age on it, L. I wouldn't even put age on it.
What's the song? Age is a factor. It is
No,
because
I wouldn't
not in this
put age
situation.
on it. I put life experience.
at certain points in your life, I think you're supposed to be more mature and have a little better understanding of who you are in a relationship.
But maturity doesn't come with age. I know some old fools and some young geniuses. Maturity doesn't come with age.
I agree. I said, but but not every. That doesn't apply to everyone. That does not apply to everyone.
Well, only reason I say what I say is because she's selling a story to a person that can relate. An age, at any age, even if you've been through divorce, you know what it's like to at least try to fight for your marriage at some point. If you were the person trying to fight and not willing to give up, even though you may still have a divorce, she's talking to you about fighting. And you can resonate with that because at some point of your life, it doesn't matter if you're 65 or if you're 35, if you've ever fought for a relationship, she's talking to you. If you've ever been in a situation to where the society has wrote you off and it didn't look like you were worthy, that's the title of the book, didn't look like you were worthy to be able to walk into certain spaces and to get certain opportunities, she's talking to you. If you've ever been in a situation where you felt like a man had his thumb over you and wouldn't let you rise and be who you wanted to be, she's talking to you. If you've ever been in a situation where your husband is going out making money and you got to stay home and try to raise these kids by also maintaining your own career in this, she's talking to you. So when she's selling these certain narratives, they resonate to certain pockets of the population, not an age. It's just shared experiences. That's how you sell anything in society. You sell it by people, by connecting to enough people that can say, I can resonate with that. And as soon as they say, I resonate with that and understand, I told you just a second ago, it's about the spin cycle. It's about the narrative you tell. That other people are going to tell a narrative that they're legally separated and Will is this and they're doing this and it's a facade and it's that, it's the third. But then at the end of the day, you got to understand that she's now going on television shows to talk to a certain demographic of people to be able to push them to the internet to purchase this book or push them to the local stores in their area. Wherever you buy books from, that's where she's pushing you to. She's giving narrative. She ain't reading the whole book. She's taking certain pockets of the book because she wants to speak to certain groups of the population. And just because she ain't reached you in your population don't mean she ain't reached 4 or 5 more others in that same interview.
And then you use cold, and then you use cold emotional words like, he didn't treat me like the queen I'm supposed to be. When you use stuff like that, that tugs at the heartstrings of people. It's like, I can relate because my man treated me like garbage. He didn't treat me like the queen I'm supposed to be. So when you use stuff like that, that gets people going to the point where, okay, at least let me see how much this book costs. I can afford that. As long as it moves eyeballs and get your emotional heartstrings going, it doesn't matter. We've all been broken up. We've all been in relationships. We had our heart stomped on, kicked on, ran over 3 times over like that. Once you hit that nail that people can relate to, oh, he didn't treat me right. I was abused. And not saying that once you talked about earlier, El, if she's lying because the money's flying. As long as he tells the story, if people buy into it, they're going to buy the book.
But
if she's selling enough copies, she's gonna get a call from Oprah. Watch what I tell you.
But I want people to be smarter than this and understand what she's doing. And let's not even try to wrap it up and say this is my love story. This is anything but a love story.
But you got some people that will sit there like, oh my God, it was such a beautiful love story and a beautiful book. You have people that will say that.
But when you've been married, when you've been separated for 7 years, when you became legally separated, your love story at that point to me was over. It was a done deal. It was a done deal.
That was a business decision. She make her money, he make his money.
Right, but that's not going to matter in the eyes of the readers. All they're going to see is, look, they're working through everything. They're coming back together. That's what some people are going to see. Not me per se. Right. I think they full of crap.
Right, I'm gonna pray that they be wise enough and they listen to the Lord and say, your story is, you all need to move on so you all can enjoy life.
What's Aaron's last name?
they're stuck in a horrible cycle. They're stuck in a horrible cycle, and I need them in order for me to stop talking. I'm tired of talking about you. To be honest,
I went to high school with a young lady. My wife actually went to law school with her.
So let it go.
I went to high school with a young lady. Her name is Erin. She and her husband co-authored a book that said separation saved our marriage. Now, granted, my wife and I bought the book because we both know Erin, and she's a pretty nice lady. So in this book, my wife and I read it. In this book, she talks about how they worked on themselves individually, and how, due to the work that they did individually, they were able to see the errors in their own ways individually. Now, they were separated for roughly 4.5 years and then came back together again. And now they're happily married. Now, Will and Smith have been separated 4 years. They were separated 4.5 and got together. Everybody's process is different. And for us to sit here and judge and say, oh, if it's 7 years, oh, that's entirely too long, just go ahead and get divorced. That's basically saying that you would be willing to give up on the process. And they have made up their mind, even though we're separated, we haven't given up on the process. And that's the image that they want to sell to the American public.
Okay, so basically what you're saying is that, okay, they say you're separated. I mean, when before years ago, my husband and I, we were married. We separated for probably was about 2 years. And so during that process, we talked about certain things. And it's like that man, I called you names, I did it, all that stuff, but it was still to me like on a private thing. It wasn't on a public level that theirs is on. And she has repeatedly emasculated this man on different shows and time again. How is that working on your marriage?
But back then it wasn't. It was operating out of hurt and pain. Now, what people, and I even tell people this in counseling, you have to find a healthy way to emote, to find a way to get these emotions out so that you can start the healing process. And maybe for Jada, part of that healing process was journaling or writing of some kind, taking these emotions and feelings and putting them on paper, reading them back and saying, wow, that actually happened in my life. That actually happened in my relationship. That actually happened in my marriage. And so now that I can see it in a totally different light, because this, in some way, how therapy works is you have to go through the emotional baggage as well as the emotional trauma that you've experienced. If you don't deal with it and sweep it under the rug, you will never heal from it. So you have to find a healthy way to deal with it. And what Jada is trying to show the American public is that this process of writing her memoirs, of going down memory lane and seeing where she came from, how she was treated as a little girl, how she was ostracized, how she was put on the back burner in the industry that's not catered for Black women, how she has went through this, but still found love twice with Tupac Shakur and in Will Smith, two wonderful persons and personalities. One is now dead and one is now estranged. And in some kind of way, I still am in love with this man. Like, this story in and of itself is for her therapy. The only difference between her therapeutic process and everybody else that goes through the same thing is she's making money from it. She is going to benefit from her public therapy.
Because the I hear Dr. Fight's words, but the mere thought of Jada, first of all, Jada is not that deep. Jada is
no, Jada doesn't have to be that deep. What people fail to understand is Jada is the public image. There's a machine behind Jada that's pushing her so everybody can get paid. The co-author of this book is going to get paid from book sales. Her marketing team is going to get paid for these book sales. Her makeup artist, when she go on these television shows, is going to get paid. There's a machine pushing Jada saying, girl, we need to make this money. You know what I mean? Jada is just the image.
I'm going to just say this. I think you just want them to get a divorce because they just tortured each other in your eyes.
Right.
They tortured each other.
Right. It feels
so
like
you just want it to be over for both of them.
Right. And I think they would be in a much happier place if they went their separate ways, because they are torturing each other, and in turn they're torturing us.
Well,
because we have a front row seat at it. So I need them to go in a separate way, and they'll be happy. I don't even think they realize how much happier that they would be. I know Will said one time that he was on this journey, of getting spiritually connected, back, to God and things of that nature. And I think if he continued on that journey, then he would realize and say, you know what, this woman is my past. She's not my current. She's not my future. I need to move on. He would be a much happier place. And I think, he would even start to get even more knocks on his door and for him to talk and more movies and things like that. But Jada is just a bad seed. I mean, she's just a bad seed. She is. Did I like her? Did I like her? Woo. Did I like her in some of her movies and things of that nature? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. But do I think she's full of crap? I really, really do. I really, really do. I really do. And I just want Will to open your eyes and see, Will. Just open your eyes and just move on. Just move on. I don't think this is a love story. I think it's her selling money to put in her bank account. And I think it's her, continue to belittle him as a man. And I just don't think he should take it. I think he should just move on. Just move on. Chris, your thoughts? Because I understand everything you all are saying about being a machine and her making money and all the stuff like that. But where is the human factor? Where's the human factor? You've lost your humanity, as far as your compassion. You've lost it to me.
Yeah, because when it comes to humanity, it has nothing to do with Hollywood when it comes to money. Like any other business, is money first. And so it's the images that you can sell. And again, it's not just the movies, it's 24 hours. Like anything else, it's 24-hour promotion. And so when you have these people doing what they're doing, which is obviously the most, but they knew what they were doing from the standpoint of getting a separation. They knew what they were doing when they were putting their business out on the street, talking about having open relationships and things of that nature. Not too many people would do that. I mean, case in point, the late great of Ozzie Davis and Ruby Dee, they didn't talk about their marriage, and they had an open marriage, but they didn't talk about it in the public. You didn't hear about that till after they passed away, and Ebony did an expose on that. So again,
right now.
Yes, they did. So again, it depends on how you operate, how much you want the public to know, how much you want to manufacture, how much you want to keep it. Once again, they lived in different times back then, Ozzie Davis and Ruby Dee, but still, that was their marriage. They kept it closed, and that was none of our business until unfortunately, when they both passed away. My point is, fast forwarding to who they are, going back to Jada and Will, you have to be careful what you put out there from the standpoint of how it looks. But if you're able to continue to get money for people to look at the Red Table stories and diaries, whatever you want to call it, and her going through all this stuff with Will and Will not saying anything, there's a reason why. Because like you said before, most human beings or most people wouldn't take it. There has to be a reason why he's not saying anything. And again, any relationship that you're involved in is between you and that person. You kind of like make up your own language. You're on your own islands. It's the both of you. It's like you two versus the world, and you have your own things to deal with. And I remember one time I was reading an article about this guy being abused by his wife, and the guy asked one of his friends, "How come you won't get out of it?" And he says, "Bro, I've never been in love before." So situations like that, when you look at it from a case-by-case basis, yes, we all have the same dynamic when it comes to being involved in a relationship, marriage, and anything else. But what we make of it is entirely belongs to us and nobody else. So your language of love may be different from somebody else's language of love, and who they rock and roll, who they vibe with, who they ride and die with. So my thing is this with the whole thing with Jada and Will. The main thing is to hawk the book. That's all I see. That's it. That's all. And again, like what Dr. Fight said, when you're in all these talking head programs and you're giving all these little nuggets of information from the book, like any other author who's on there to give information, to get you to buy the book, to get eyeball on the screen, get the likes and the hearts, everything on social media, that is the goal. So once again, she ain't talking to you. She ain't talking to me. She's talking to the people that she needs to buy the book. That's who she's talking to. And right now, the people who follow her on social media do a very effective job of it. She's doing a great job of it. But that's her goal, and she's doing a good job of it.
Well, you and Dr. Fighter said a lot. Most of it I don't agree with. But I understand you talking about the book sales and things of that nature. I just think you need to and her making money. I just think she needs to look at people more with more intellect, or have more, and not try to snow people just to sell books and make money. You know, if you have a story to tell, then I think a more honest story would be better. Like, I don't know if it was Dr. Fight that said it earlier, you know, about her line talking about she's engaged to Tupac. You know, if you're gonna tell your story, then tell the truth. Don't make it more salacious than what it is, because if it's the truth, then we're gonna buy it and we'll like it and we'll read more and more about it. But if I know you lying to me, like I believe Jada's telling lies about lots of things, I have no interest in anything that she has to say, to be honest. I was just curious to find out why the men were so pissed off at Jada for her saying the things that she says about Will. And so there you guys have it. Dr. Fight. I think you told me, Chris. I think you said it. I don't know if I believe it, but you said it, and I just find it hard to believe somebody like Will make a business decision and put your manhood to the side versus money. I don't understand why you would. I understand it. I just don't know why you feel the need at this stage of your career and your age to do that. I don't understand. I'll never understand it. Okay. There you go. Chris, thank you for coming on. You're welcome to stay on if you like to, and I appreciate everything you said. Now, I know you'll be talking about it on your show, so I'll be keeping you out on Saturday. I know you're gonna.
I ain't gonna talk about it on Saturday. I ain't gonna talk about it no more. I'm done. Between Jada and Will, I can't do no more. I'm done.
I'm done talking. It's enough already.
Now, if somebody want to come on the show and talk about it in the comment section or call me up during the show, I'll talk about me starting the conversation. Hell, nope. I'm done. I can't do no more.
Dr. Fight, you know we got in to cross over your segment a little bit, but go ahead. What you got for us today? I can't hear you again. Yeah, now I can. Yeah.
What did you say? I'm sorry. I was on.
I said, we crossed this show segment today. We done with Will and Jada. We wish. I don't know what I wish for them, but peace. I wish them peace. That's what I wish for them, peace.
Let me say this real quick before Dr. Fight starts. I got to take off, but thank you for allowing me to come on here and be a part of the conversation. You know, I'm a fan of your work. You continue on to be strong and do your thing. Thank you, family, and love to come back on down the road soon. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much.
Anytime.
Thank you, we appreciate you, man.
All right, appreciate you too. Take care.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, Doc Fight. Here we go.
Well, to be honest with you, I had something to talk about, but I mean, this was good to talk the way we've had these conversations. I am in Asheville, North Carolina right now.
Are you really?
Yes, I'm doing revival here in Asheville. For the next few nights, I'll be here till Thursday night, and so I'm here right now. And as soon as we get off the air, I'm gonna hop and take me a nap pretty quick for service tonight.
Okay. Dr. Fight gonna take him a nap. He gonna take him. Brianna said that's why he's sitting still. I see. That's why he's sitting still today. Because normally we catch Dr. Fight, he on the move.
I'm stationary for the next couple of days, and it's good to be here, though, man. It's beautiful, man. To see the leaves and the way they change, and the mountains and the backdrop. This is always a beautiful place to be in the fall. Nothing looks better than the mountains in the fall. I'm telling you, it's wonderful.
Oh, that's well. Then even when you're away from home for a little bit, you get to rest. You say I get to rest a little bit.
That's right. I'm actually got sermons sprawled off over this table, trying to figure out what I'm preaching about.
Well, Dr. Fight, if you want us to let you go and take a nap, you're welcome to go take a nap.
Okay, great.
So, Dr. Fight, and deliver a great sermon tonight.
I will. It'll be on Facebook.
Okay, it'll be on Facebook. I always get notification with Dr. Fight on there. So I appreciate it. Real quick, y'all want to do sports real quick before Dr. Fight go? Ain't nothing real happy. Ain't nothing happen real good? Wait, who was getting a notice from the football teams? What are you talking about? I read someone, but I done lost it now anyway.
I mean, there's no more undefeated teams. The Eagles lost. The 49ers lost.
Oh. Dr. Fight's boy, which one? They said, I think they were trying to get rid of him. What's the one? Danielle. What was the story about Danielle?
Hey, listen, Listen, we had a fighting chance this weekend to win the game.
They really did.
Oh my goodness, couple of bad calls, but even in spite of that, it's bad call play by the offensive coordinator. I don't care what nobody say. They should have ran the football at the end of the football game.
Well, there was a pass interference call that wasn't called.
That's right, that too.
So
Hold on 1 second, I'll be right back.
so that's what that was. But yeah, you had that last night the Dallas Cowboys defeated the Los Angeles Chargers 20-17.
Oh, the Chargers lost again.
Yeah, they're 2-3.
Damn.
The problem is we need to get rid of the coach. The coach ain't working.
Mm.
How you a defensive minded coach and the defense is ranked 30th?
Ow.
That don't mix.
Oh. Okay. Oh wow.
Final preseason games for NBA starts. I think the last one's on Friday, and then the season starts. I think next week.
Preseason?
No, preseason's almost over. The NBA season starts next week.
Oh, NBA season start next week?
Yeah.
Oh shoot. NBA back?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I'm gonna look forward to seeing
NBA back, which means MLB is almost over.
Okay, they don't have it until November. But when are we gonna get to the World Series?
They're in the championship series right now.
Okay, who are we looking forward to be in the World Series?
I don't know. I ain't into none of these teams.
Oh no! Oh wow, that's unusual for her.
My
Wow.
Dodgers got swept, so I'm good.
The Dodgers got swept.
In the division series
Oh Lord!
by the Diamondbacks.
Who got Arizona?
My Braves lost too, so don't feel so bad.
So yeah, so I have no interest in baseball anymore.
We didn't get swept, but we still lost.
I can't believe the Dodgers got swept. Dog.
They got
I will need to ask y'all opinion. So I'm in this tournament pick'em with the sports talk radio show with James JT Thompson. This weekend, the Miami Dolphins, which are 5-1, plays the Philadelphia Eagles, which are also 5-1. Two of the top, I would say they're two of the top 5 teams in the NFL right now.
right.
I probably would eat the 49ers as maybe the number 1 team, then a strong second, maybe 1.8 would probably be the Kansas City Chiefs, and then these two teams, Miami and Philadelphia, fall right after them. So, who you going with?
I'm going with Kansas City.
No,
He said
it's the Miami Dolphins and the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, we said that Philadelphia.
You going with Philly?
I'm going with Philly.
I'm gonna take Miami.
Really? Why?
Have you seen their? Okay, I can't.
They're a track team. I would put Waddle, Hill, and what's their running back name? And, one other person, and had him race against the United States for about one. And I promise you, it'd be an entertaining match. Miami, the fastest team in the NFL.
I gotta take the Dolphins. Tua is like throwing the ball, but then when you got Tyreek Hill, who literally would just speed past you.
He a cheat code.
Yeah, I mean he's literally messing with the defensive players, and he halfway down the field.
Okay, well, I'm gonna stick with Philadelphia. So if I'm right, you all say Elvis recognized. Y'all know I don't know much about football, but
it's gonna be Philly defense versus Miami offense. Philly got a pretty decent offense too, but Miami is just fast. They at every skill position. They are just faster than anybody else you can put on the field.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, if you play Tyreek Hill deep, that he's gonna run right past you, he'll slant to the middle because it's wide open, and Tua hits him every single time. And once he gets the ball in open space, you can't catch him.
No.
Jason Waddle is the same way. You get him the ball in open space, you just can't catch him. They are too fast.
Mm.
And right now, Tyreek Hill is on pace for 2,300 receiving yards.
Right. Those are quarterback numbers.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got, 800 or 900 through 6 games so far?
Okay, well, they come have to watch them and see what y'all talking about, because I really don't know.
They're a track table. You ain't got to watch them. I'll show you highlights.
Okay. Then I'll see. But right now, I'm gonna stick with Philadelphia right now.
I don't think Philly's the same. I think it's because I don't know if like the coordinators changed, but Jalen Hurts doesn't look the same like he did last season. Like last season, he had, I think, 6 interceptions the whole season. This year, he had 7. 7 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. So,
All right.
so we got that going. The Detroit Lions are 5-1.
Really, Detroit?
Detroit ain't been relevant since what, the 60s?
I know that's actually.
Since Barry Sanders was carrying the football.
Oh, that's gonna be interesting.
They're 5-1. The Bears is just. I didn't think it could get any worse for the Bears, but it did.
I was gonna say, really, what?
Justin Fields dislocated his thumb.
Anytime you mention the Bears, it is some bad. Bears, bad. It just goes.
I promise. I think the Bears got a curse on them.
It just go hand in hand. They should have kept Lovey. Again, we say they should have kept Lovey.
That's the sad part.
Yeah, that's the sad part about it.
The best years the Bears had was with Lovie Smith. And since then, we can't sniff the playoffs.
Let's just go ahead on the record and say that the Carolina Panthers are the highest scoring team in their division, but they're the only team in their division that hadn't won a game.
And here's the thing: they were up 14-0 on Miami.
Ooh.
I thought Miami was gonna get upset, and then no, not to be. But yeah, so I mean, San Francisco 49ers, were upset by Cleveland Browns, who had PJ Walker as starting quarterback. So yeah.
All right.
It's getting interesting.
Well, how many more weeks we got of football?
They're going into week 7. What is it, 17 weeks? So 10 weeks.
I see. Okay.
So yeah.
All right. Is that it for our sports?
Yeah.
All right, Doc Fight. Go take your nap. Go take your nap. Have a good one. And have a good service tonight. All right, you guys. Dr. Fight is out of here. And thank you, Chris. And I got a couple more topics I want to cover before we go off. Before we go off. All those who joined in earlier, Chris Bass was here, and we put the clothes on Jada and Will Smith at home because I'm sick of it. I'm sick of them. I think that they both full of crap. Will need to step up and be a man, like I said, and Jada just, I don't know what to say about Jada. Girl, Jada is a narcissist. That's my feeling. Ooh, who is this?
Kevin Hunter.
Oh, Kev. We ain't talking about the Hunters in a minute. So here we got Kevin Hunter. Kev finally sold the mansion, the house that they had in Florida. Now, here's the funny part I didn't know about it. I thought the house that him and the side piece, I thought it was in New Jersey down the street from Wendy's, from their home. No, it was in Florida. So that's why she always took her behind down there in Florida.
Oh.
So that's why I didn't realize. So that house sold for like $1.2 million, about $1.2 million. And so now maybe he can pay some of his bills. And
well, what kind of man are you sitting back letting Wendy's alimony payments pay your bills?
Right, and that's the stuff. Something about it. He went to court and asked the judge.
Trifling.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Like, man, go get a job.
And so when the court said they were not going to make Wendy keep on paying him, then that's when he put the house on the market. And so the house sold. So maybe now he can go, like I said, go and get some of his bills paid. And dude, you was a DJ. Go back, get some DJ gigs. You down there in Florida. Go to Miami or whatever.
You know what the problem with that DJ money? Wasn't looking like that Wendy Williams money.
Well, hell, that DJ money don't look better than no money. And so maybe now he actually have a surplus since he sold the house. So maybe he can actually put some away in the bank account. Here's a good thing, men. When you have these stocks, and then you want these stocks to become like the main chick, and she don't have any way of income, then you better think about what you're leaving at home.
Yeah.
You better think about what you're leaving at home. Okay, so I'm glad for you, Kev. Go ahead, but you're still a cheater, lying cheater, and I know she's gonna be asking some child support, so you better hurry up and make you pay her child support. Oh, I didn't mention this earlier. Suzanne Summers passed away. She would have been 77 yesterday.
She died the day before her
birthday.
Day
before her birthday. And I know some of you all who watch our show, you all may be a little young. You don't remember Three's Company? Come and knock on our door.
But
Take a step at it.
okay, and if you didn't remember that, if you're my age, you remember Step by
Step
Step.
by step. Yeah.
Her and Patrick
Well,
Duffy,
Patrick Duffy, yeah.
who came out and said they were actually supposed to see each other last Friday.
Oh, really?
And they didn't, and meeting got canceled. Something happened. So
well, then was said her because she's been fighting aggressive cancer for years.
23 years
she's
to
been,
be exact.
For years, I thought it was probably longer than that. But she was fantastic on Three's Company, and you know what? And the thing about you can tell the industry has grown somewhat, but just because she asked for
a raise,
she wanted the same amount of money that John Ritter was getting at the time, and so when she said she asked for this, I immediately fired her because she asked for that, and she was funny as Chrissy Snow. She was hilarious as Chrissy Snow. The one thing about a lot of old school shows was that they had wonderful theme songs, and you could always tell what was coming on TV is by the theme song. So we all knew growing up what our next song was, and I love Three's Company. I remember being a little kid, and part of the opening theme was when they were walking down. They were in Santa Monica, and they were walking on that strip of beach. So I knew exactly what that was. Now I do, because when I lived out there, and I was like, oh, this what they did. Three's Company. Their promo for Three's Company and everything. So that was really cool. So you left us Tuesday, but she looked good.
Yeah.
On the 7th, she looked really, really, really good. So rest in peace, Suzanne Summers.
Joyce DeWitt, and somebody put up a picture of the Three's Company cast, and Joyce DeWitt is the only one left.
She is. Well, I think. What about Richard Klein? He played the downstairs neighbor Larry. He was the whole Larry, the neighbor.
Oh,
so I think the two of them are the only two that's left.
Okay.
That's left. Yeah. So that was Chris. He said thanks for being. So how old is Joyce DeWitt? She might be around the same age.
I think they're all pretty much right.
She was the same age. John Ritter, when he died, that was like a shock for everybody. But they were all really good in there. Their comedic time was on point. Piper Laurie, if you guys don't know who she was, if you ever watched the original Carrie, she was the mom. She played Carrie's mom.
Wasn't she like 90?
She was like 92.
Oh.
So Piper Laurie, she passed away over the weekend. She was wicked in Carrie. Woo.
I can't watch Carrie.
I never want Carrie was the only thing. Even when they came back and did the remakes, I was like, because I remember seeing it as a kid. I was like, that was enough for me.
That is one movie I can say I have never seen and don't care to see.
It was look at them things with the flying around.
She was possessed, no.
And she was trying to be good. The one played the daughter. She was the Sissy Spacek played the daughter. She was trying to be good, but when people would piss her off, make her mad, then those evil things that her mother, they would come out in her. But she was always trying to be better. But the mother was never. Piper Laurie was crazy. She was crazy.
I pass on that one.
Yeah. So rest in peace. Look, when you get up into your 80s and your 90s, you've seen a lot, and you know what? And you've lived a lot. So I say rest in peace. Rest in peace for sure. Okay, who else we got? What else in my story?
Do you want to talk about Stumpy?
Damn, do I have to?
It's just real quick.
We was on a good trajectory. But go ahead. I'm gonna let her go ahead with that one. We were on a good upbeat sort of.
Anyway, he got Judge Chutkin finally put a gag order on him. A narrow gag order, which he can't talk about the prosecution, witnesses, and jury, I think. And so anyway, his oldest son, DJ, went on X, formerly known as Twitter, talking about how can he do that? That's a violation of this and that. I mean,
but you know what cracks them is they want to pull out the Constitution
when it suits
them. Right, when it's beneficial to them. But otherwise, they don't want to follow any rules or regs of the United States Constitution. Only when it suits their needs.
They are full of cacamayana.
Only when it suits them.
And that's all I got to say about them.
Okay.
Well, anyway, he's back in New York too for his civil fraud trial because his ex-lawyer Michael Cohen will be taking the stand this week, even though he's been told he does not need to attend.
So you know what his motive is? He thinks he's going to go there and intimidate Michael Cohen. That's what I believe that he thinks he's going to do.
Michael Cohen been all over TV talking about you. Do you think you face him?
Well, sometimes it's good to look the person right in the eye and tell you, now watch what I'm gonna do. So yeah, so I think that's his whole purpose of going. I thought he was gonna testify, but that the coward ain't gonna testify. Yeah.
Fats. Shut up for him.
Yeah, he's not gonna testify. So good luck, Michael Cohen. I think he's gonna be on the stand not today, I guess Wednesday and Thursday, I believe.
So tomorrow?
I think tomorrow.
Good Lord, these weeks go by fast.
I think, and the thing is, when you get older, they zip by. They go zoop. They go really fast. And tomorrow, because tomorrow is our guest interview day. I guess we have not one but two guests will be with us tomorrow. Cindy Adler and Georgina White. And Cindy has been in the music industry for quite a while. Selling over like 14 million. About over 14 million over her years from I think like the 80s and probably more than that and counting. And then Georgina White she's a UK actress and singer. She's gonna join us. So from I think if I'm not mistaken, I believe Cindy is in Florida. I think I could be mistaken. So anyway, we have the US and the UK will be in the house tomorrow for interviews. That's gonna be a great show. So make sure you tune in tomorrow, and we'll follow what's going on with the house.
And let's see, because they said they're going to do another vote.
Damn.
I don't think today. Maybe I could be wrong, but they are going to do another vote. And I'm just waiting for the shock of all shocks when Hakeem Jeffries becomes the speaker, because it's coming. Because they don't get nothing done. It's coming. And then gotta wish safe travels to President Biden. Because he's heading to Israel tomorrow.
Oh, you know what I want to do? Did you put him in there when I showed you? One of our friends from Jerusalem.
I did it.
You
didn't give it to.
Oh, look in there. So anyway, one of my Gilad Hessig, he's one of our messages. Look in there. It's probably this one. We're looking at my messages. It should be the same thing though. The messengers. So I can't pull up. So he sent he's in Jerusalem and he sent me a couple of photos. I will put them up there tomorrow. But it's a whole First of all, the little girl, her name is Yael, Yael. So she's one that's being held as a hostage in Gaza. She's one that's being held hostage. And then I think he gave me another whole list, and I will share that with you guys tomorrow. I'll share it on social media too, of 30 other children that's being held hostage, in Gaza. And here's the thing: I said, anyone who messes with children, I have no empathy, no compassion, no nothing for you. I think you should immediately be beheaded. I don't say that with a heavy heart at all, because I believe that. These children, these are kids that were, just living their lives, with their parents, out playing, going to school, doing homework, just living their lives as normally as they can. And then you come along, these Hamas, you come along and you torpedo their lives. And some of them, I guess, they are being held hostage with their parents, which at least you with their parents. But knowing what's going to happen in 2023, this is what we're dealing with, and it's just it's sad, it's disheartening, it's disgraceful. And who is the Israeli soldiers? They're doing ground searches. They're going from house to house. They're blowing up stuff. They're turning over rocks, homes, buildings, whatever, trying to find all the hostages and try to stop, Hamas, because it's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. I don't understand why so many people are so evil and don't want peace. You just don't want peace.
Well, this is new.
She done found something that's pissing me off.
No, I don't think so. A senior Hamas leader tells at NBC News the group is willing to release all civilian hostages, foreigners, and Israelis if the strikes on Gaza stop.
Well, you know what? That's good, but I don't think Israel's going to. They're not going to believe them. They're not going to believe. But
Israel's going to want the hostages
released first. Absolutely. Yep. Well, I don't know if they. Well, because haven't they said they have killed 6 high-ranking Hamas leaders, I think.
Intelligent leaders.
I think that's what they said. I think that was the
Yes.
report. I think it was yesterday or early this morning. Yeah. Well, let's see, because I know Israel going to say, no, we want all the hostages from everywhere. If you have them stored, we want them released.
No, well, that's what they just said. This senior official for Hamas said they would release all of them, whether they're civilians, foreigners, Israelis. They would release all of them if they stop the airstrikes.
Yeah, I don't know if I believe that.
I mean,
I believe the news that you're reporting, but I don't believe them.
I mean, I don't believe them either. If I was the Israeli, I would say release the hostages first, and
Right.
then we'll stop.
Right. Or and also to come to the table.
Right.
Come to the table and put these things in writing.
Right.
You know, or better, but you know what? Even better than let's take you as hostage. Let's hold you until you release all of the hostages from everywhere, and then we'll talk. But until then, we're going to keep doing what we have to do because this was inexcusable. This was inexcusable. People just out living their life. Inexcusable. What you all have done. What you all have done. Okay. So anything else?
That's it.
So I have to say, a special thanks to Chris Bass. Chris came on. I was giving him a little. They were giving Dr. Fight a little backup for Chris. And Chris a little backup for Dr. Fight. I don't know how you want to say. I'm giving Dr. Fight a little backup for Chris. Because we're discussing the whole thing with the new Jada book is released today, but she has released so many excerpts about Will and Dr. Fight and Chris had an interesting take on it about how this is like their relationship or maybe be trying to get back together. I don't know. I said I don't believe anything that Jada Pinkett says. Jada is a liar. She's a liar, but she's also a social climber, and I don't know how many women really are going to respect the fact that you publicly humiliate your man and then think you all are going to work through whatever it is and get back together. I don't see how that's going to work. I don't see how that's going to work. Any man with a comment was like, you know what? She don't talk about me like that in public, and we're going to get back together. I was like a bigger dummy. Which you pretty much like, as Fred Sanford was said back in the day, big dummy. Well, you were like a big ass dummy. There y'all go. Okay, so make sure you join us tomorrow. We're getting out of, we talked a lot today, which means we're getting out of here a little bit early, not too early, but just a little bit early today because we talked a lot. So we're going to get out of here and make sure you join in tomorrow with this Here's My Voice with two amazing, talented women that's going to come on and share their journey. Make sure if you still haven't signed up for your subscription to Brain Magazine, I hope to see you do that really, really soon. And and we'll start. We've already started on the fall edition. Good Lord, for October and November. All right. In the meantime, in between times, find your stage door and open it, and then like and share this video here on Instagram, and then go over to Facebook and like and share that video as well. Peace out. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Dr. Fight. Thank you, Brianna. Peace out. Okay.